Why Gen Z is ditching dating apps, a profound shift towards authentic connections in the digital age. In an era paradoxically defined by ubiquitous digital interactions, a fascinating and significant countertrend is emerging. Gen Z is increasingly disengaging from conventional dating apps. For years, these platforms reigned supreme as the seemingly indispensable conduits for forging romantic relationships. However, a growing body of evidence, supported by declining usage statistics among young adults, points to a profound societal shift. This generation, often perceived as inextricably linked to technology, is actively seeking more organic, genuine, and less curated avenues for connecting with potential partners. This evolving landscape signals a reevaluation of what constitutes meaningful connection in a world saturated with fleeting digital encounters. The weary embrace of swiping culture, a deep dive into digital fatigue. At the core of this widespread exodus lies the pervasive phenomenon known as swiping fatigue. Unlike older generations who adopted smartphones and social media later in life, Gen Z has grown up immersed in this digital ecosystem. Consequently, they possess an inherent, almost instinctual awareness of the inherent superficiality that often permeates meticulously curated online profiles. The relentless, often mind-numbing cycle of swiping left or right based on carefully selected images and terse biographical snippets has cultivated a deep sense of exhaustion and disillusionment. Many within this demographic articulate a profound feeling that dating apps systematically reduce complex individuals to mere data points or commodified profiles, thereby fundamentally impeding the organic blossoming of genuine and multifaceted connections. This constant evaluation and re-evaluation based on superficial criteria contribute to a feeling of dehumanization within the dating process. Prioritizing mental well-being, a conscious retreat from digital pressures, and for Gen Z. Mental health awareness is not merely a trending topic, it is a paramount and deeply ingrained value. The very architecture of dating apps, with their inherent mechanisms of constant validation seeking, frequent rejection, and incessant social comparison, can exert a profoundly detrimental impact on self-esteem and significantly amplify feelings of anxiety. Young adults, increasingly attuned to the intricate relationship between technology and psychological well-being, are becoming remarkably intentional about safeguarding their mental health. They are acutely aware that the often intense pressures of online dating, including the need to present a flawless persona, the sting of ghosting, and the fear of missing out, frequently overshadow any perceived benefits. This conscious retreat from the digital dating arena aligns seamlessly with a broader, more impactful societal movement, advocating for comprehensive digital detox practices and the promotion of genuinely mindful technology use. It represents a collective realization that true well-being necessitates a thoughtful disengagement from platforms that can compromise inner peace. The unyielding quest for authenticity beyond the filtered personae. Above all else, Gen Z champions authenticity. This generation harbors a deep-seated wariness of carefully constructed online personas, which they perceive as inherently misleading and ultimately unsatisfying. Their preference leans overwhelmingly towards encountering people in real-life environments, where the nuanced intricacies of personality, genuine compatibility, and raw, unadulterated human connection can spontaneously emerge and flourish. There is an undeniable and powerful desire for relationships founded on shared experiences, the organic discovery of common interests, and an unwavering commitment to honesty and transparency, rather than the fleeting, often superficial, nature of purely digital interactions. This preference speaks to a longing for depth and substance that digital profiles often struggle to convey. Social media, the unconventional new meeting ground, ironically, even as Gen Z deliberately distances itself from dedicated dating applications, they often ingeniously repurpose and leverage other prevalent social media platforms for the very same purpose of connection. Instagram, TikTok, and even in surprising instances, LinkedIn, are progressively transforming into unexpected yet fertile avenues for meeting new people. These platforms, by their very design, facilitate more nuanced and multifaceted interactions, offering intriguing glimpses into a person's daily life, their passions, their interests, and even their distinctive sense of humor through dynamic posts, ephemeral stories, and interactive comments. This organic exchange of information and personal insights frequently fosters a sense of familiarity and even camaraderie before any direct or explicit romantic overtures are made. effectively blurring the lines between social networking and nascent romantic exploration. The resurgence of IRL, in real-life interactions. A return to roots in a palpable and significant resurgence of IRL, in real-life dating, is unmistakably observable among Gen Z. This generation is actively and enthusiastically seeking out traditional social gatherings, immersing themselves in hobby-specific groups, dedicating their time to meaningful volunteer activities, and consciously joining communities built around shared interests as a primary means of meeting new people. The fundamental and deeply ingrained desire for face-to-face interactions, where the subtle cues of body language, the authentic nuances of tone of voice, and the irreplaceable spontaneity of shared moments can be fully experienced and appreciated, serves as an undeniably significant driving force behind this compelling trend. It represents a return to a more traditional, tangible form of courtship, valuing immediate human connection over mediated digital exchanges. Implications for the future of dating. An evolving paradigm in discernible and accelerating shift away from conventional dating apps by Gen Z is not merely a passing fad. It signals a profound and potentially lasting evolution in the fundamental ways in which people seek to connect and forge romantic relationships. While it is highly improbable that dating apps will entirely vanish from the cultural landscape, their once dominant role is almost certain to diminish substantially. Younger generations are increasingly prioritizing the inherent quality and depth of their romantic pursuits over the sheer quantity of potential matches. This transformative trend could well pave the way for a more balanced, holistic, and ultimately healthier approach to dating, where technology gracefully assumes the role of a supplementary tool, an enhancer, rather than the singular, all-encompassing, or even primary means of discovering a life partner. The future of dating, it seems, is moving back towards human connection, augmented, but not replaced, by the digital realm.